Alex sat in his small room, staring at his laptop screen. An email from a prestigious international scholarship program blinked in his inbox. Last chance to apply. Deadline in 7 days. His heart raced as he reread the message. This was his dream opportunity, to study engineering abroad and build a career he had always envisioned. But there was one big obstacle: English. Have you ever had a dream so close, yet felt like something was holding you back? That was Alex's reality. He was a hard-working student from a small town, with big aspirations and limited resources. English had always been his struggle, a wall he couldn't climb. Alex had tried to learn English before. Between school, chores, and his part-time job at a local shop, progress had been slow. He had purchased books and even tried language apps, but nothing seemed to stick. Now, he needed to demonstrate basic fluency in just 1 week to pass the scholarship interview and submit his application. 7 days wasn't much time, but Alex decided he wouldn't let fear or doubt stop him. As he shared his worries with his best friend, Carla, over a quick lunch, she reassured him. "Alex, you don't need to be perfect. You just need to start. Focus on small steps each day. Trust me, you'll get there." Inspired by her words, Alex searched online that evening for fast learning tips. He stumbled upon a video titled, "Learn English in 7 Days. Yes, it's possible." The title gave him a spark of hope. It felt like a sign that maybe, just maybe, he could make it. Alex made a decision. He didn't know if he'd succeed, but he promised himself to try. 7 days, 7 steps. The clock was ticking, and his journey was about to begin. Alex woke up early the next morning, determined to make every moment count. He grabbed a notebook and began to write down his plan. His strategy was simple but clear. Focus on 3 areas: listening, speaking, and writing. Each day, he would dedicate specific time to each skill, starting small and gradually building confidence. Success doesn't come from a big leap but from small, consistent steps. Alex knew he had to focus, not on the enormity of the challenge, but on the small tasks he could achieve each day. The first step was to understand his current level. Alex searched for an online English assessment test and took it. The results were no surprise. He was a beginner. But instead of feeling defeated, he saw it as a starting point. Everyone begins somewhere, he told himself. Next, he decided on his learning materials. He found a playlist of beginner-level English videos on YouTube, bookmarked simple English podcasts, and downloaded a free language app. His notebook became his ally, filled with motivational quotes, phrases to learn, and a daily schedule. Carla called him in the evening to check in. "How was your first day?" she asked. "I feel more organized, but it's a lot to take in," Alex admitted. "Don't overthink it. Just focus on today. Remember, progress, not perfection," Carla reminded him. Alex closed his notebook with a smile. Day 1 wasn't perfect, but it was a start. He felt a spark of hope. The key was not to stop. 1 day down, 6 more to go. On the second day, Alex decided to focus on listening. He knew that understanding spoken English was essential, not only for his scholarship interview but also for navigating everyday conversations abroad. His goal was simple: listen to English for at least 20 minutes, no matter how much he understood. Listening is the foundation of language learning. Even when you don't understand everything, your brain starts recognizing patterns, words, and sounds. For Alex, this was the beginning of building his ear for English. He started with an English podcast for beginners that Carla had recommended. As he walked to his part-time job, he listened attentively. The speaker's slow and clear pronunciation made it easier to catch familiar words like hello, thank you, and friend. Occasionally, Alex paused the podcast to repeat words he liked aloud. Later that evening, Alex watched a short video on YouTube titled Daily English Conversations. He turned on subtitles to help him follow along. For the first few minutes, it felt overwhelming. There were too many words he didn't know. But instead of giving up, he focused on phrases he recognized and repeated them with enthusiasm. At the end of the day, Alex reflected in his notebook. "I didn't understand everything, but I recognized some words. That's progress. I'll keep going." Day 2 ended with Alex feeling a little more confident. He realized that even small wins, like recognizing a single word, were steps toward understanding English. By the third day, Alex knew he couldn't avoid speaking any longer. He had always felt self-conscious about his pronunciation and worried that he might sound ridiculous. But Carla's words echoed in his mind: "You don't need to be perfect. Just start." Speaking is often the scariest part of learning a new language. Fear of mistakes can hold you back, but every word spoken brings you closer to confidence. Alex was about to take that leap. He stood in front of his small mirror, notebook in hand, and began to practice basic introductions. "Hello, my name is Alex. I am an engineering student. I love solving problems." At first, he stumbled over words, laughing at himself as he mispronounced engineering. But instead of getting frustrated, he repeated the sentence until it felt natural. Later, Alex found an English pronunciation app that allowed him to record his voice and compare it to a native speaker's. He practiced saying phrases like, "Can you help me?" and "Where is the library?" Although his accent was noticeable, the app's feedback reassured him that he was improving. To push himself further, Alex called Carla. "Can we practice English for 5 minutes?" he asked nervously. "Of course," she replied enthusiastically. They had a short, simple conversation, with Carla encouraging him at every step. By bedtime, Alex wrote in his notebook, "Speaking is scary, but I did it. I'm proud of myself for trying." On day 3, Alex discovered something powerful. Mistakes weren't the end of the world, they were stepping stones to success. By the fourth day, Alex realized that reading and writing were just as important as listening and speaking. His scholarship application required him to write a short personal statement in English, so he decided to focus on improving these skills. Reading and writing are like two sides of the same coin. Reading introduces you to new words and ideas, while writing helps you organize and express your thoughts. For Alex, this was a chance to strengthen his foundation. Alex started with something simple, reading a short article about engineering innovations. Using an online dictionary, he looked up words he didn't understand, writing them down in his notebook with translations. He was amazed to see how much vocabulary he could absorb in just 20 minutes. Later, he opened his notebook to practice writing. He began with short sentences. I want to study engineering because I enjoy solving problems. My goal is to create new technologies that help people. As he wrote, Alex noticed that forming sentences helped him think more clearly in English. He smiled as he filled the page, even if some sentences weren't perfect. Carla sent him a message that evening. How's your writing practice going? It's hard, but I feel like I'm building something, Alex replied. That's the spirit. Keep going, she encouraged him. By the end of the day, Alex had taken another step forward. Each word he read and wrote brought him closer to expressing his ideas confidently in English. On the fifth day, Alex decided it was time to practice real-life interactions. Speaking with Carla had been helpful, but he knew he needed to push himself further. He remembered an online group Carla had mentioned where language learners from around the world practiced English together. After hesitating for a moment, he signed up. Interacting with others can be intimidating, especially in a new language. But it's also one of the fastest ways to build confidence and improve fluency. Alex was about to discover the power of conversation. During his first session, Alex introduced himself nervously. Hello, I'm Alex. I'm from a small town, and I want to study engineering. The group, made up of learners from different countries, responded warmly. They encouraged him and shared their own stories, which inspired Alex. Despite making mistakes, he felt safe and supported. Later, Alex joined a breakout room with 3 other learners. They practiced answering common questions like "What do you do?" and "Why are you learning English?" Alex found himself laughing at their shared struggles with pronunciation and grammar. At the end of the session, one of the group members said, "You're doing great, Alex. Keep going." His confidence soared. That night, Alex reflected in his notebook. Today was amazing. I spoke with people from all over the world. I'm learning that English isn't just a language. It's a way to connect with others. Day 5 marked a turning point for Alex. He no longer felt alone in his journey. Interacting in English became more than practice. It became a way to share and grow. By the 6th day, Alex was starting to feel proud of how far he'd come. But he also knew there were still areas where he struggled. He decided to dedicate the day to consolidating what he'd learned so far and challenging himself with more difficult tasks. Learning a language is a journey of ups and downs. For Alex, Day 6 was about taking a deep breath, revisiting his progress, and pushing his limits. He began the morning by reviewing his notebook, going over vocabulary words, phrases, and the sentences he had written earlier in the week. He tested himself by covering the translations and trying to recall the English meanings. To his surprise, many words came easily to mind. For a challenge, Alex decided to watch a movie scene in English without subtitles. He chose a short, light-hearted clip from a popular family movie. At first, it was frustrating. There were many words he didn't understand. But he focused on the characters' expressions and actions to piece together the story. As he listened, he started recognizing phrases like "Are you okay?" and "Let's go." Feeling inspired, Alex tried to mimic the actors' lines, matching their tone and rhythm. It was difficult but fun. "I sound ridiculous," he laughed, but he didn't stop. At the end of the day, Alex wrote in his notebook, "Today I challenged myself. It wasn't easy, but I'm proud of what I learned. I'm ready for tomorrow." Day 6 gave Alex the confidence to embrace challenges. He realized that growth often happens when you step outside your comfort zone. The final day had arrived, and Alex felt a mix of excitement and nervousness. Tomorrow was the big day, the scholarship interview. He knew he couldn't learn everything in a week, but he also realized how much progress he'd made. Now, it was time to pull everything together and prepare with confidence. The final stretch is often the most crucial. For Alex, Day 7 wasn't just about learning. It was about trusting himself and the work he'd put in over the week. Alex began by reviewing common interview questions he'd found online. He practiced answering them out loud. "Why do you want this scholarship?" "I want this scholarship because I am passionate about engineering and want to study in an international environment." Carla helped him with mock interviews, pretending to be one of the panelists. She asked questions and gave him feedback on his answers and pronunciation. "You're doing great, Alex. Just remember to take your time and speak clearly," she encouraged. To boost his confidence further, Alex spent time watching a motivational video about overcoming challenges. The speaker's words resonated deeply. "You've worked hard. Now is the time to believe in yourself and let the world see your potential." Before bed, Alex wrote in his notebook, "I'm ready. No matter what happens tomorrow, I'm proud of myself for trying. This week has changed me." Day 7 wasn't just the end of Alex's journey, it was the beginning of a new chapter. He had transformed not only his English skills but also his confidence and belief in his ability to achieve his dreams. The morning of the interview, Alex sat in front of his laptop, taking deep breaths to calm his nerves. His room was quiet, and his notebook lay open beside him, filled with notes, phrases, and motivational quotes. This was the moment he had worked so hard for over the past week. The big day had arrived. Alex wasn't perfect, but he was ready. This wasn't just an interview, it was his chance to prove to himself how far he had come. As the virtual meeting began, Alex greeted the panelists with a confident, albeit slightly shaky, "Good morning, everyone. My name is Alex." They smiled, which eased his nerves. The first question was simple. "Why do you want this scholarship?" Alex took a deep breath and replied, "I want this scholarship because I am passionate about engineering. I want to learn in an international environment and use my skills to solve real-world problems." There were moments when Alex paused to think or stumbled over a word, but he kept going. The panelists seemed patient and encouraging, which boosted his confidence. When they asked about his hobbies, Alex smiled and said, "I like learning new things, especially about technology. This week, I also learned that I can speak English." His humor made the panel laugh, and Alex felt a wave of relief. After the interview ended, Alex sat back in his chair, exhaling deeply. He had done it. No matter the outcome, he knew he had given his best effort. For Alex, the interview wasn't just about winning a scholarship. It was about proving to himself that with determination and effort, he could face any challenge. A few days later, Alex received an email from the scholarship committee. His hands trembled as he clicked it open. The first line read, "Congratulations, Alex. You have been awarded the scholarship." In that moment, Alex felt a surge of emotions: relief, pride, and overwhelming joy. All the hard work, sleepless nights, and moments of doubt had paid off. He had achieved something he once thought was impossible. Alex rushed to tell Carla the news. "Carla, I got it," he exclaimed. "I knew you could do it." Carla replied, giving him a big virtual high five over their video call. Later that evening, as Alex reflected on his journey, he realized the scholarship was just one part of what he had gained. Over the past week, he had transformed his mindset. He had learned to embrace mistakes, push through discomfort, and celebrate small wins. Alex opened his notebook one last time and wrote, "This week, I didn't just learn English. I learned that I'm capable of more than I thought. The journey doesn't stop here. It's just the beginning." Alex's story is proof that with determination, small steps can lead to big changes. English was more than a language. It was a bridge to new opportunities, friendships, and dreams. What could you achieve in just 7 days? Take the first step today and discover your potential. A few days later, Alex received an email from the scholarship committee. His hands trembled as he clicked it open. The first line read, "Congratulations, Alex. You have been awarded the scholarship." In that moment, Alex felt a surge of emotions: relief, pride, and overwhelming joy. All the hard work, sleepless nights, and moments of doubt had paid off. He had achieved something he once thought was impossible. Alex rushed to tell Carla the news. "Carla, I got it," he exclaimed. "I knew you could do it," Carla replied, giving him a big virtual high five over their video call. Later that evening, as Alex reflected on his journey, he realized the scholarship was just one part of what he had gained. Over the past week, he had transformed his mindset. He had learned to embrace mistakes, push through discomfort, and celebrate small wins. Alex opened his notebook one last time and wrote, "This week, I didn't just learn English. I learned that I'm capable of more than I thought. The journey doesn't stop here. It's just the beginning." Alex's story is proof that with determination, small steps can lead to big changes. English was more than a language. It was a bridge to new opportunities, friendships, and dreams. The screen fades to black with a final message. What could you achieve in just 7 days? Take the first step today and discover your potential. A few days later, Alex received an email from the scholarship committee. His hands trembled as he clicked it open. The first line read, "Congratulations, Alex. You have been awarded the scholarship." In that moment, Alex felt a surge of emotions: relief, pride, and overwhelming joy. All the hard work, sleepless nights, and moments of doubt had paid off. He had achieved something he once thought was impossible. Alex rushed to tell Carla the news. "Carla, I got it," he exclaimed. "I knew you could do it," Carla replied, giving him a big virtual high five over their video call. Later that evening, as Alex reflected on his journey, he realized the scholarship was just one part of what he had gained. Over the past week, he had transformed his mindset. He had learned to embrace mistakes, push through discomfort, and celebrate small wins. Alex opened his notebook one last time and wrote, "This week, I didn't just learn English. I learned that I'm capable of more than I thought. The journey doesn't stop here. It's just the beginning." Alex's story is proof that with determination, small steps can lead to big changes. English was more than a language. It was a bridge to new opportunities, friendships, and dreams. What could you achieve in just 7 days? Take the first step today and discover your potential.